Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, and I'm starting my fifth week out here on the journey. And I want to recap yesterday, but usually I start chronological. I want to jump into something different and ask for your favor, guys. I'm hoping somebody can understand and hear what I'm saying and would be willing to help me. I can do this, but for me, it'll take me, it'll be a little bit harder for me to do it. So I met a great family yesterday, and I'm going to talk about them, but I want to talk to them about this topic first. So they have a little boy, Jace, Jayce. He's 4 years old. He's a really bright, terrific young man, and but he's real shy, at least to strangers. So Dustin and Aaron let me come spend the day with him, basically. And Jace was just focused on his tablet and his games, and didn't say a whole lot to me. And then we were outside at one point picking up toys together, and he wanted to show me how well he drives his car. I got a picture on the Facebook page about that, and he really did handle it well. I mean, he had a 12-point turn. He was so tight, but he didn't hit anything. It was really cool. But anyway, later in the day, Jace and I had a really cool bonding moment, and I'm gonna try not to cry here. I'm not gonna cry today, but it was so special to me because not only did I get to bond with the little fella, but it was something that was so special to me. I've talked about it here before, and also reminded me of my own little boy. So I'm going to post a little video later on of Jace. What happened was Jace was looking at his video games and cartoons on TV and was talking about a plane. And if you guys know me, there's two things that trigger me, and I don't know why they are. I mean, I do know why, but Phil Vassar and his music, which you've heard me talk about ad infinitum, and I will continue to do so, and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels flight team, which is just kind of a memory of my dad. I have one tattooed on my back right here. And it's just one of the most amazing spectacles to see in life. If you ever get a chance to go to a show, I highly encourage you to do so. Anyway, Dustin and Aaron had YouTube TV, and I said, Jace, would you like to see a big plane and see something really, really cool? And he's like, yeah. And he sat on the couch, and they'd been playing outside by the pool and was a little dirty, so he was just sitting there in his underpants. And so I'm telling you that ahead of time. And Dustin put on the Blue Angels air show episode, and I only taped like the first 2.5 minutes of it, and I hope it transfers onto here. It should, but he's a little kid, so he was distracted at different times. But it was just really cool to share that with him, and he took his truck and we made planes out of it. And so here's my request. I know I have a few Blue Angel planes, little toy steel cast planes at home that my son's had from shows we've gone to, but I think most of them at this point have a broken wing or a broken cockpit or a broken something. So I'm going to ask you guys if there's somebody that's willing to try to find out how to pick one up, either new or they have one laying around the house, that maybe they can mail to little Jace. I've got his address. You can reach out to me on my website, thepttjourney.com. There's a contact Jim. You can reach out to me there, and we can make that happen. If you want to send my email directly, it's pttjourney2018@gmail.com. You can email me. And hell, if you just want to text me, guys, 717-554-9847. I don't care who has my number. Feel free to text or call me. But if I could make that happen for that little guy, it would mean a lot to me while I'm out here on this journey. Kind of brings me back to my own little fella, who I do send some things home to, just so you guys think I'm not ignoring my own family from this trip. I make sure I send them cards every couple of weeks to let them know I love them. But I think it'd be really cool that as Jace gets a little bit older, he'll always have that. Because as I thought to tell a story now, let me tell you about yesterday, kind of back the way I normally do. So folks, please, if there's anybody willing to reach out and buy this little fella, a toy U.S. Navy Blue Angel, it would mean the world to me, and I think it might mean the world to him when he gets a little bit older. Anyway, so yesterday I woke up and Brian and Lori and Chase and Noah picked me up at the hotel, and they took me to their church, and it was really a special moment. I got to meet some folks I wouldn't have met before, and as I think I might have alluded to in yesterday afternoon, Brian actually got the microphone as we give thanks for certain things, and he thanked me and asked for prayers for me on my journey. And I got to meet some folks that I wouldn't have met before, and one of them was sweet, and I got a picture of her. I didn't get her name. 91 years young, and she called me down and said, I walk 1 mile every day, and that's pretty Look, 91, let me tell you something. I know what it's like to walk a mile. Trust me, I do. That's pretty darn impressive, man. So, um, it's just a nice day, and I think Brian and Lori were willing to extend more hospitality to me, take me back to the house, get something to eat before I headed out. The weather was kind of crazy, but the day before, a few days ago, a young man named Dustin was coming home from work and had somehow seen me on Facebook and driven by me and wasn't looking for me, just was on the path. So I wonder if that's the guy. So he pulled over and talked with me briefly and went on his way home to work and went home from work and met his family. And I guess he was texting me during the day or talking to me during the day and told his wife about me, and she kind of went, what are you talking about? So that night he said, hey, if you need a place to stay, give me a call. You're welcome here. But I'd already been arranged with Brian. Morning energy, shouldn't be drinking it, I know. Landon, Kira, Dad gave up Monsters. I'm not drinking a Monster right now. It's just a can filled with water, so I get dehydrated. Anyway, but you know, I don't, meeting people and experiencing people, for me, redeeming who they are and seeing who they are, being able to share that with my kids, the good and the bad, and it's been so overwhelmingly good, it's not funny, is what this journey is about. So the fact that he reached out to me was telling me that, and the fact that I got to Plymouth, and I don't know, I didn't think I was ready to leave Plymouth yet, and so that night I said, well, I appreciate that, but I had a similar situation the Sunday before where I met a guy named Scott Redding, kind of the same thing. He reached out to me. I couldn't really, he wasn't going to be the person I stayed with, but I just felt compelled to go down and meet with him. And man, Scott and I talk every day. He pumps me up. He sees some value in what I'm doing that maybe I don't even see, and maybe it's me being humble or whatever. But going the extra distance to meet these people isn't anything that I just feel like again, I'm not in control of this, that I need to see these people and meet these people because there's something I'm learning from them that I can share with my family. And as my family grows, this PTT family grows larger and larger. And I know I'm going to run long today. I don't really care. You guys can turn off if you want. Anyway, so I talked to him the night before. I said, well, maybe we can do breakfast. I had to do some wash. And he said, well, you're welcome to do wash at my house. And I said, maybe we can do some breakfast and I could be on my way. But then I kind of got up and was doing my book a little bit later, and I knew I wanted to go to church. So I reached out to him and said, hey, maybe after church I can get together with you and see where we're at. So I said, no problem. So Brian and Lori and the boys were gonna, kind of take me back to the house. I said, no, I'll tell you what, can you, I think I've got this squared up. I talked with Dustin. He said, yeah, no problem. I said, can you guys drop me up here at the McDonald's? I can get one of the big sodas for $1 and use their Wi-Fi and get myself a chance to decompress a little bit, figure out my day, and wait for Dustin. So said goodbye to them, took some pictures, and so thankful to Brian and Lori. Chase, good luck heading off to college. Noah, I'm sure my son's going to see you on Fortnite. I gave him your password. I got to get his and I'll send it to Dad. But Noah's going to be a big kid. He's only, I think he's 13, and he's got boats for shoes and going to be a big kid. So he likes basketball. Hopefully that'll pan out well for him. But great family. Anyway, so they dropped me at McDonald's, and then Dustin came to pick me up. We went across the street to the Kroger's, and Dustin had to get some hamburger rolls for dinner. I picked up, what did I pick up? I picked up some Tide Pods to do my wash, which I'm dropping in there with the wash as I go from town to town. And I picked up some Diet Coke for me, another one of my vices, and off we went. And we got to Dustin and Erin's home, and they welcomed me in with the kitty cats. I got a picture of those guys. They kept sleeping on my backpack all night and fighting over the top spot. At one point, I saw nothing but 4 ears looking over at me last night. But anyway, so we got there, and I got to meet them and spent some time with them. And like I said, Jace was real shy, almost to the point of not even trying to ignore me, just so engrossed in this thing and tuning me out. And I understand that. I wasn't offended in any way, shape, or form. But I got to talk with Erin. Dustin knew a little bit more about what I was looking to do. So Erin was learning a little bit about me as we went. And then at one point, like I said, we went outside to pick up his toys. That little fella has a lot of toys, let me tell you. and we cleaned up his yard, and he got in his car and he was buzzing around, and I was learning about Dustin and Erin, and really I got to understand why I knew I needed to get to meet these folks. Later on, Dustin was barbecuing. He made some hamburgers and the best corn on the cob I've ever had. I never had corn on the cob on the grill, where he soaked it in water for like 2 or 3 hours and just cooked it right in the husk, and that was delicious. But while we're out there, we were talking. He had an aunt stop by unexpectedly, and they were talking about family. And again, not eavesdropping, but you can pick some things up from conversations. That wasn't my business, but Dustin wanted to share some of that stuff with me. And so one of the things that I was really struck by the family is the house is filled with personal gifts and plaques and knickknacks and things like that. And if you heard me early on in my journey, I try to tell guys, we spend $5 on a Hallmark card to give to somebody else, to say words that aren't coming out of our mouths. Maybe we mean them, but they're not coming out of our mouths. And if we just took the time, any guy out there that doesn't think he can communicate or doesn't want to deal with his feelings, if you just took the time to tell your woman that you love them and you love these 3 things about them, and pick out 3 things that you do love about them, that stuff will carry her so far and so high. And this house had a lot of that. Dustin really goes out of his way to take chase and make things special for Erin. As I got to learn about them, there were some really special things. I don't want to get cut off in the middle of it, so I'm going to cut this video off now, and I'm going to do part 2 here next. So hang tight, guys, and I'll be back with you in a moment, okay?